Hi guys! Welcome to our channel! On today's video, samahan nyo kami sa aming next adventure. It's going to be an incredible gold mine tour adventure sa Walhalla. So habang tayo ay naglalakad, share ko lang sa inyo yung history ng Walhalla. So ang Walhalla is a historic gold mining town located in the Gippsland region of Victoria, Australia. It was founded in 1862 during the Victorian gold rush and quickly grew into a thriving community with a population of over 4,000 people. Today, Walhalla is a popular tourist destination known for its beautifully preserved 19th century architecture, stunning natural scenery, and rich gold mining history. Visitors can explore the town's heritage buildings, including the post office, town hall, and general store, which have been carefully restored to their former glory. The town is surrounded by lush forests, scenic rivers, and majestic mountains, making it an ideal destination for nature lovers. Overall, Walhalla is a charming and picturesque town that offers visitors a unique blend of history, natural beauty, and an outdoor adventure. Whether you're interested in exploring the town's rich gold mining heritage or simply taking in the stunning scenery, there's something for everyone in this beautiful corner of Victoria. Walhalla Long Tunnel Gold Mine was discovered in 1863 and operated for over 40 years, producing an estimated 13 tons of gold. The mine was known for its long tunnels, with one tunnel extending over 1.5 kilometers in length. Today, the Walhalla Long Tunnel Gold Mine is a popular tourist destination with visitors able to take guided tours of the mine and explore its underground tunnels. The site also features a museum with exhibits on the history of the mine and the gold rush era in Victoria. The Walhalla Long Tunnel Gold Mine is an important part of Australia's mining heritage and offers visitors a unique glimpse into the country's gold rush history. Hey guys, it's going to be a gold mine tour adventure. It's coming us. Look at this. It's beautiful here, guys.
Oh, what's that?
Big. Yeah. Mingaram ancestral and Mingaram.
Was up here, they could see that this John Henchcliffe could see this great big granite rock up on top of the hill here poking out with gold in that quartz. Visibly could see that gold in the quartz up there. In Victoria, all quartz reefs run north and south in the ground. I'm not quite sure why, but they just do. They knew that quartz reefs run north and south in Victoria. So earlier mines started mining this quartz reef. They could see it up there where shareholders raised £14,000 to start this mine. It was called Hercules Mining Company before Long Tunnel took over. The reef is running south and north. So you've got south and north. These guys here are going to tunnel in and hopefully hit that reef. The first 100 metres of us walking has got no quartz in it at all. It's called marine slate. It would have been under the ocean 400 billion years ago. We do have a little fossil down the end of sand. I'll point it out to you. Not much to look at, but it is an old fossil. Also the rain. So it takes 14 days for the rain to get from the top of the hill into this tunnel. It is a bit wet in there, so anyone that's got white shoes or what have you, if you get your mud on your shoes, there is a tap with some cloths out the back there, you can wipe your shoes down. And it's always 10 degrees cooler underground, so it's about 10 degrees under there today. You will feel the cold when you first walk in, but once we get deep inside the tunnel, you won't feel the cold at all. You just actually get used to it. We do get glowworms in there as well, so if you haven't seen glowworms, I'll point them out to you. They die off in winter, so we're getting less and less, but I'll point out what I can see. You're welcome to take photos of them, but keep your flash off because they don't like light, so yeah. Also, I'll get everyone to walk in between the tracks in a single line if I can. And I'm going to count everyone's heads in. And whoever wants to go first.
Let's go.
At the back.
Why?
More time.
Because they want to listen to the...
I want to hear.
Where's the clock?
And then she just said she's going to point out.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see where she's supposed to go. Don't turn on the light.
No, it's not on. Wow. Yeah. What?
No? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Alright, I can keep talking and won't get anything wrong then. Alright.
All right. It's going to be an exciting adventure.
Mama.
Careful, Kian. Watch your steps, okay? Kian, hurry up. Hurry up, Kian. Hurry up. Are you okay, Daddy? All right, good. Kian, you okay?
Yeah?
Oh.
Go.
People, guys at the back, keep your eyes out for glowworms, alright, just under this hood. So I'll get your heads behind you, just point them out so people will check you. There's a few more up here as well.
Glow in the wall? Glowworms?
Lower.
Yeah. All right.
What was that she said?
Glowworms. Glow worm. Can't see. Mind your head. Can you see it? Oh yeah, I saw it.
Look there.
Yeah, glow worm.
There, I saw it.
Glow
I
worm.
spotted. There, it's like a blue dot.
Shall we
I
go?
spotted. Blue dots. Oh, look up there.
I can see that.
Look here.
There's many actually. Oh, okay.
You okay, yeah?
Okay. Hurry up. Come. Go.
Yeah, a week to clean out 1.5 meters. Can you guess how long it took to get to here, doing that method of drilling and, blasting? Bit longer? 2 years to get to here and no gold yet. So, and it was all hand dug out. They might have had a horse to help them cart that rock out, but the tracks weren't here yet, so the ore carts weren't in yet. Yeah, wheelbarrowed out pretty much. Again, women weren't allowed in the mine. They thought it was bad luck. Miners were only about 5'5". You guys are perfect miners' height. Anyone taller couldn't work in the mine because you had to work in a tight tunnel as well. Yeah. Any questions, anyone? We're all good? So we're all going to go down here. It is a little bit smaller, this tunnel, but it does open up. We all can stand in here. It just gives you an idea of what kind of tunnel they were working in. So you want to follow me?
2 years. Watch your head.
Yeah, we'll go take.
Kian, Inigo, you go first.
Mine will take care of
Kian, hold mine.
so that for you it is okay.
My house.
Yeah.
Yes, my house. That's Mama house. That's Daddy house.
Daddy, they didn't give up, yeah?
That's Daddy house.
Imagine they made this house.
Tutu. Tutu. Tutu.
But you weren't until about 13 to get paid. I want everyone to fit in here, guys. I don't want any hunchbacks, doesn't matter where you stand, as long as you can fit in here.
This one just
Pretty, isn't it? I've had 40 in here, I know we can fit, so squash up, guys. Everyone will keep warmer as well. So you don't feel the cold in here either, do you? Yeah, you get quite used to it. That's everyone in?
Yeah.
Okay, so the miners were really excited to hit here because if you guys look up, there's that quartz reef. This rock runs on a 70-degree angle at 150 metres to the top of the hill. It was poking out the top of the hill with gold in it, and they could see that at the top of the hill. And then it runs 1,000 metres straight down this way. So the mine actually goes 1,000 metres deep, this mine. Down that way you have the Royal Mint mine. So the reef is running south and north. That was their claim, this is ours, you know, that we're allowed to talk to each other, but we're not allowed to work with each other. All the mines are trying to get to this reef. So there's a lot of mines in Walhalla trying to get to this reef, but we've got to all have our own little claims. The black stuff around here is called black putty clay. As soon as I touch it, you can sort of see it just falling apart, all this stuff. Putty clay, they call it. Over time, like thousands of years' time, rain will wash all this black, loose dirt and clay through the mountains into the rivers. I'm talking about thousands of years' time, but that's what the miners were finding, all that loose gold in the rivers. When they run out of that gold, they need to find this reef because that's where gold is born. The mother of gold, this is. They took 200 tonnes of rock and ore just out of this section of the reef, and they're only crushing 1/4 ounce of gold to a tonne of rock. Not much gold at all. That was like a $2 coin of gold to a great big washing machine size of rock. This company actually went bankrupt. Not enough gold here. Even though these guys down there were getting good quality of gold, guys at the top in the same reef were getting good gold, but not here. Bad luck for Hercules Mining Company. That's why Long Tunnel decided to buy it, because they saw potential. There's got to be better gold deeper down the reef. Where I said imagine that tunnel is not there, we're going to go back into the main tunnel. So Long Tunnel put that tunnel in to go past the reef. They knew the reef is running on that angle like this. Long Tunnel decided to go past the reef, and then they'll put a shaft down 183 metres down, they find the reef again. They found a lot of gold deeper. It became like the 8th richest mine in the world for the second company. They found a lot of gold. Bad luck for the first company.
Kian, you okay? Walk a little bit faster. Okay. Watch your steps, okay? You guys the last one? A couple more people coming? Okay. Is that it? Yep.
Yep. Do you want to try and punch up a little bit just so you can see me? So it took 4 years to get to dig to here using that hammer and tap method. A long time digging. Remember, the only air coming in is where we just walked in. So the deeper you get in, the harder to breathe, dustier as well. They invented this rock drill, or the air compressed drill, jackhammer, whatever you want to call it. They invented this machine in 1871. They actually invented it in 1800s, but they weren't using it until about 1871. So this machine was doing a faster job than us manually drilling into the rock, of course, but it was causing a lot of dust in here. So it was run on air compressed machine. If you were the youngest person here, 13, 14, I think it was, working this machine every day for 8-hour shifts, you wouldn't be around anymore by the time you were 21 years old because of the dust. You'd be breathing that dust in, getting silicosis or miner's lung, they would call it. Not a very long lifespan because of breathing that dust. But if that didn't kill you, the dust, this machine would either overheat in your hand and blow up. It'd be like holding a live grenade in your hand when it did blow up. It killed a lot of miners. They ended up calling it the widow maker because it killed so many men. The company actually wanted to prevent this machine from blowing up, so they turned it into a steamed operated machine. They invented this rod to go on the rock drill. All it does is inject water through the drill bit. So it would have sat on here. It's got a hole here and a hole at the top. That's injected with water, cools that drill bit down, took that dust away, but it also prevented the machine from blowing up. So it saved a lot of lives turning into a steamed operated machine. All miners had to bring their own tools. This is called a miner's spider. Does it look like a spider? No. No? It's only got one leg anyway, doesn't it? So this is your candlestick holder. I don't know why they called it a miner's spider, but they do. They tap it into the rock like this and your candle would have sat in it. Miners had 8-hour shifts, 6 days a week. They didn't have the break either. They need to know how long they were underground for. They didn't have watch it. So they got special candles made for them that would burn up to 8 hours. That was their time. Miners were known to mark candles hourly, just so they knew how long they'd been underground for, what have you. But when the shaft got put in the next room, which I'll show you in a minute, only 2 men could go up and down that shaft at a time. We had 200 men working in here, 50 a shift, so night and day shift. If you're on the lower levels, you could have been waiting half an hour just to get a ride to the top again because, you know, waiting for all carts, you know, your next could be shift change, what have you. 2-man ride took you a long time to get back to the top. You definitely don't want to be sitting down there in the dark. Take your extra candle to work with you. Also, the men on the lower levels. So all mines fill up with water. You've got to pump water out of the mine. Back then, they had trouble pumping the water out. They didn't pump it out quite quick enough. Men on lower levels were working in knee-high depth water. And then they were icy cold water, and the air was like 45 degrees heat. So not a very nice job down the lower. You definitely want to be working up here. So this mine actually has, we actually don't pump the water out of this mine anymore. This is the only accessible level, so we can't go down any other levels anymore because of the water, and the water is toxic to us. Got all these toxic minerals in it. We're not allowed to pump out into the rivers anymore. So a new law came in the 80s. We're not allowed to pump it out. 92, I think it was. They used to pump that water out, but we don't anymore. This is the only accessible level. We can't get down any other levels and what have you. So those pipes that we walked past earlier on, that's what they would have done, suck that water out. We do have an underground dam here, so on this first level, we'd be standing in ankle deep water right now if we didn't put that dam in. So when that dam overflows, those pipes take that excess water out to the drains as well. We did have, 200 men working this mine, 50 a shift or what have you. There was 50 recorded deaths in this mine in a 14-year period. So 50 recorded deaths and 50 weren't recorded. If you died in the mine with an injury or miner's lung or what have you and died in the mine, you recorded as a miner's death. But if you went home with an injury and died at home, we don't know anything about you. You actually had to die in the mine to be recorded as a miner's death. So yeah. We do have graffiti of a miner down here, 1890, I think it is, 132-year-old graffiti. We don't know anything about him other than it is old graffiti. He could have passed away here and who knows, and his mates might have marked his name in the wall or what have you, but they didn't come to work to actually muck around, they came to work. So there's not much graffiti that's old here. There is new graffiti here, but that is something that we can date. Behind you, there's light on that rock here. So before I was saying this rock is called marine slate, it would have been under the ocean 400 billion years ago. The ripples on this rock is sand being pushed up against the waves. So that is a fossil of sand. Not much to look at, but it is an old fossil. We like to point out to you guys. Your head's still getting wet. You're in the wrong position. So you're fine. If you want to come down, follow me down this way, I'll just grab my torch. Thank you. I'll show you the graffiti.
I think they're not sure. They said they're some of them are their name or they were friends. Possibly possible. How to actually spot what it is or where.
Oh, do you know what stalactites are? Huh? Stalactites. Stalactites and stalagmites. Stalactites are there.
Yeah.
They're not really stalactites. But stalactites are like
Well, the sign here says telephone. It's possibly up to the next.
is that the word?
Oh yes, I'd say so. Yeah. GEW.
Oh yeah. This one.
Yay!
50. Oh, it's more.
You got another hat?
Yeah.
They didn't have hard hats back in the day. The miners would have been constantly hitting their heads on that rock, giving themselves small concussions, having this water dripping on their heads all the time. We do get little rocks that fall as well. So if you hear a little rock fall, don't get scared. It's just normal in a mine. So you'll notice this room's quite large, and I said before you need more supports in bigger rooms. So this mesh above us is called, I don't know, it's just mesh. It's holding little rocks from falling on our heads, pretty much. So this mesh got put up 40 years ago. You can see how much rock has fallen in 40 years' time. Not much at all. That's just to prevent it from falling on our heads. But this room's quite large.
Yeah.
It was made big to bring in a boiler, and same with that entrance where I said the tunnel was made bigger. There's a picture of a boiler right there. It looks like Thomas the Tank Engine. But his job was to make steam for those rock hammers I just showed you. You fill them up with water, put about 30 tonnes of wood a day, which would boil that water, burn that wood, boil that water, make steam. There'd be hoses connected to these boilers all throughout the mine, connected to those rock hammers. This machine helped build the next room, 4 more boilers, so 5 boilers in this mine. Most mines have their boilers outside because the shaft is coming from the hill, coming straight down, like that's the mine. But we're tunnelled in the side of the hill and our shaft is going inside down. So we've had to bring the boilers in. Over 45 degrees heat in here with the boilers going. That ventilation shaft didn't get put in. It's also an exit shaft. We can go out that way if we need to. We won't need to, but that was only put in the 1900s just to bring air to this level, because remember the only air coming in is where we just walked in. With the 5 boilers going, over 55 tonnes of wood a day were getting burnt in the boilers. Walhalla ended up having no trees for up to 8-9 kilometres around the town. That's why the train got brought here, to bring wood in from other towns. And basically that's why the mine shut in 1911. The deeper they got, harder to suck that water out. They needed wood to pump, for these machines. The deeper they got, it was hard to get wood, more expensive, so they stopped mining by 1911. By 1914, war started, so 2 years later. So whatever machinery they had in here and what wood or whatever, they sold for the war effort. And then this mine didn't operate again until about the 70s. So it was operating, looking for gold. They still think there's gold here. But because of the water being an issue, we don't mine here anymore. And the last man that died here was in '86. So that was a mine manager. So in the next room is where the shaft is. We cannot go right up to the shaft because we had a collapse. He's caused that collapse, you know, what have you. But there is writing up about it in the museum. You can read up about it. But anyway, we can't get past into the other levels because of the collapse as well. But a modern day company came here in their 70s to do some rock boring or drilling. So a modern day company won't just start digging to hope to find gold, they'll do drilling. Behind you guys there's rock, there's holes in the rock. You can see rust coming out of some of those holes. But that is called rock boring or drilling. A company can drill over 2 kilometres looking for rock samples. They'll cut samples like this tray behind me. They'll fill this tray up with their samples, send it to a lab, and if there's any gold or whatever they're looking for in that, brand new. The reason why is because it's got diamonds all around here and diamonds all encrusted around here. That would sit on a great big long drill pipe and cut into the rock because diamonds cut through just about anything. This is quite blunt today, but you can still see the flickers of the diamonds all around the edge. No point stealing it because it's worth nothing today as well. So, but it would be worth 20 grand if it was brand new. Can you sort of see the flickers of the diamonds? Yeah. Did you see that? Yeah. Again, I said about our hard hats. We've got to keep our hard hats on because of the water and little stones falling and what have you. I showed you the mesh. This wood here is called pigsties. They are supporting bigger parts of the mine or what have you. This rock here above my head has got a great big crack in it and it's supporting that rock. If that rock decides to move, this wood will start squealing like a pig very loudly, gives us an alarm or a sound to get out of the way. It might only be a minute or so, but it gives us something. If you use metal or steel to support that rock, that metal and steel will just snap if that rock moved, and we wouldn't hear that sound happening, or we wouldn't hear it happening or the movement happening. So they've always used wood because of that sound. Any questions, anyone? The wood?
No, I mean, what's it called?
Pigsty. So it sounds like a pig when pigs squeal, you know. If it did move, we'd all be running out that way. I'd send someone young like you to go up to the top because it is a hard climb. Bit of a 70 degree, 150 metres to the top. Yeah, I've done it twice, but my legs feel like jelly by the time you're at the top. So I'd definitely be sending the fit people up first and they can set the alarm and put the kettle on for us. I've done it about 3 times, yeah. Yeah, I have. It's as big as the tunnel that we walked in, so it's quite large, and it's got a chain on the wall. It's easy to walk. I mean, it's quite, you can see it. It doesn't look like it's that hard, but it is, because you are on that angle. So 9 years to get to here, no gold yet. One company went bankrupt. The second company is just aiming is to put the shaft down to hit that reef again. So 9 years is a long time without gold, isn't it? You certainly want to sell your shares up to 9 years, but they were hoping to find that gold. So if we all want to move around to the next room, to the right, we're nearly done, guys. So we'll get, I know some of the kids will get probably a little bit restless.
Look at this.
So you'll notice this room's quite large again. We actually have had 2 weddings in here. We've had parties, birthday parties. Do you want your birthday party? You're welcome to have it in here. We've had bands and film crew in here as well. But this room here was the main room that everyone would have come to go down to their other ships, so down other levels. Excuse me. Behind these pigsties here is where the collapse happens, and that's where the shaft is that will lead us down other levels. So another 5 metres or so where the shaft is. You can see rocks pushed up against the other side of those pit sides. This is as far as we go, pretty much. We're about 287 metres in the side of the hill, just under 300 metres. Where that ladder's going straight up, they would have had a pulley system up there to operate the shaft. So you would have had a young tack going up there, working 8-hour shifts by himself to operate this pulley system. They would have had cables on it, so great big wheels with cables. There would have been another wheel here, so it would have come along like this and then dropped down with an oil cart with 2 men on it. This guy that worked up there, his job was to oil these pulley systems, like oil the wheels, because they weren't meant to make any noise at all. His job was to keep his ear out from different signals from different levels. Could have been men coming up or down or oil carts or what have you. Those wheels had to be quiet, and he was a very well-paying job to be up there by himself doing that. But where this chimney is, so I've got a chimney right beside me. You had 4 more boilers in here. So 1 in that room that we were just in, and 4 in here. You had 2 standing next to this chimney, vertically standing. Another one in front of this chimney standing. And behind that brick wall there, you had 1 laying down. There is a chimney behind that brick wall too. But all the chimneys lead onto this main chimney here. They didn't brick the chimney at first. That chimney goes to 150 metres to the top of the hill. That was to let the smoke out to the boilers, and they didn't brick it at first, and the heat in here made the rocks fall and collapse that chimney, and that was, or block the chimney up. But 2 brothers ended up making these bricks in here, and it took them 3 years to brick that in 45 degrees heat at 150 metres to the top of the hill. I have actually poked my head in there, and I don't know how 2 men work. When they're in the middle of the town where their red phone box is, if you look up, that's the start of their incline shaft. While they're digging, we're digging.
Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.